There is a silent trap waiting in your bank account tonight. You might think it is entirely harmless. It hides behind your desires, your ambitions, and your natural urge to build a secure life for your family. But history warns us of a completely different reality. Thousands of years ago, the wealthiest king to ever live wrote a severe warning that predicted the exact economic illusions we see on our screens every single day. He watched people chase illusions, ruin their names, and lose everything in a matter of days. Today, the names of the games have changed, but the human psychological traps remain exactly the same. If you do not recognize these patterns, you are walking directly into a cage that has been catching unsuspecting souls for 3 millennia. Number 7. The illusion of the easy path. We live in an era of flashing screens, overnight millionaires, and aggressive promises of effortless gains. Every day you are bombarded with stories of someone who made a fortune by clicking a button, buying a trending asset, or joining a secret network. This triggers a powerful evolutionary response inside your brain. It makes you feel left behind. It makes your daily, honest work feel foolish and painfully slow. But ancient wisdom provides a devastating counter-truth. Wealth gathered hastily at the beginning will not be blessed in the end. This is not just a moral lesson, it is a law of psychological momentum. When you acquire capital without developing the corresponding discipline, character, and mental capacity to manage it, that capital acts like water pouring into a shattered vase. It leaks out immediately, leaving you poorer and more desperate than you were before. The easy path is designed to look smooth, but it drops off into a cliff. True financial stability requires a foundation built brick by brick through patience, repetition, and real-world utility. Number 6. The heavy chain of comparison. The moment you start looking at the highlights of another person's lifestyle, a dangerous seed is planted in your mind. You begin to measure your internal progress by someone else's external display. To keep up with an illusion, you begin to make compromises. You take on liabilities disguised as assets. You buy things you do not need with money you do not have to impress people you don't even respect. This is the definition of financial slavery. Ancient rulers understood that you do not need iron bars to keep a man captive. You only need to convince him to lock his own chains through vanity. Every time you borrow against your tomorrow to look successful today, you surrender a piece of your personal freedom. You give up your choice, your peace of mind, and your ability to take calculated risks. Break the habit of measuring your worth by objects that depreciate the moment you take them home. True wealth is silent. It is measured by what you keep, what you control, and how much time you actually own. Number 5. The hidden price of sudden luxury. When resources increase rapidly without effort, your baseline lifestyle permanently shifts upward. Your desires quickly mutate from luxuries into absolute necessities. This is known as lifestyle creep, and it is a trap that has crushed empires and modern lottery winners alike. If your character is not strong enough to handle an influx of resources, those resources will end up managing you. You will find yourself trapped in a continuous cycle of maintaining an expensive facade. You become terrified of losing the image you built, making you vulnerable to increasingly risky decisions to maintain it. King Solomon noticed that a person who loves pleasure will become poor, and he who loves wine and oil will not be rich. True financial power belongs to the individual who can see abundance increase while keeping their personal needs remarkably low. Control your appetite before your appetite controls your future. Number 4. The deceptive advice of the desperate. When you're looking for a fast escape from a financial struggle, your judgment becomes clouded. You stop looking at data, logic, and history. Instead, you start listening to people who promise a shortcut. Desperate people give desperate advice. They pull you into unstable ventures because they are driven by fear, not by wisdom. The ancient warnings explicitly state that a person with an evil eye hastens after wealth and does not know that poverty will come upon him. When your primary focus is entirely on speed rather than sustainability, you align yourself with chaotic forces. You ignore the red flags that are staring you directly in the face. You stop asking hard questions because you want the dream to be true. To protect your house, you must close your ears to the noise of the crowd rushing towards an unverified oasis. Seek advice from those who have stood the test of time, not those who are frantically searching for a temporary fix. Number 3. The trap of unearned leverage. In our modern economic system, debt is marketed as a tool for quick acceleration. You are told that you can skip years of saving and building by simply signing a contract and borrowing from the future. But borrowing to fund consumption or volatile, unproven assets is like pouring gasoline onto a flickering flame. It creates a sudden flash of light, but it consumes everything underneath. The borrower is a servant to the lender. When you operate heavily on leverage, you are no longer working for yourself or your family. You are working to satisfy an institutional clock that ticks every single month without mercy. It doesn't care if you get sick, if the economy shifts, or if your plans fail. The debt must be paid. To build an unshakable financial fortress, you must treat leverage with extreme caution. If you use it as a shortcut to bypass the natural process of earning, you are building your house on shifting sand. Number 2. The corrosion of your name. Chasing rapid wealth often forces an individual to cut corners. It tempts you to compromise on your values, obscure the truth, or take advantage of the ignorance of others. You might convince yourself that it's just business, or that you'll fix it later once you are successful. This is a massive psychological illusion. A good name is to be chosen rather than great riches. Once your integrity is compromised for financial gain, the foundation of everything you build next is permanently rotten. People lose trust in you. Your network collapses. You carry an internal weight of anxiety, waiting for the truth to catch up to you. Wealth acquired through deception vanishes like vapor, and those who seek it are chasing death. No amount of money can purchase the return of a ruined reputation or clean a corrupted conscience. Number 1. The total loss of your time. This is the final, most devastating trap of all. The pursuit of fast money demands your absolute attention, your highest energy, and your entire mental capacity. It isolates you from your family, destroys your health, and pulls you away from higher spiritual purposes. You tell yourself that you're doing it for a season, just until you hit a certain number. But that number is a mirage. It moves further away every time you approach it. You wake up years later to realize you traded the irreplaceable years of your life for digits on a screen that can vanish in a market correction. Do not wear yourself out to get rich. Have the wisdom to show restraint. True abundance is having enough wisdom to know when you have enough peace to enjoy it, and enough freedom to walk away from the traps of the world.